children, welcome to English grammar class. Today we are going to talk about an important topic, that is verbs, the part of speech without which a sentence can't be completed. This video will help you to get an introduction to verbs, to know its definition and kinds, to see some simple exercises and to test your understanding by attempting some exercises. So let's begin. First of all, we will see the position and role of a verb in a sentence. See the following given sentence. We all know that the structure of every complete sentence shows two parts, which are subject and predicate. The subject part is what the sentence is all about. It shows a noun or a pronoun which the sentence talks about. The predicate part tells us about that noun or pronoun. It shows the words which inform us the being, possession or action of the subject. Such words are called verbs. Let's read the definition of verbs to understand it better. A verb is a word or a group of words which expresses a physical or mental action, a state of being, an event or happening, or a possession. Besides, verbs perform many other functions too. To know about them, let's study the kinds of verbs. We broadly classify the verbs into four main kinds. These are: first, the action verbs. Second, helping verbs. Third, linking and state of being verbs. Fourth, finite and non-finite verbs. These four main kinds show a subdivision. Let's study about all these kinds in detail. The first kind, action or principal verbs. An action verb is a verb which tells us what a person, an animal or a thing does in a sentence, physically or mentally. It is mainly a doing verb which shows action. See the given example. The horse is running. In the given example, the subject horse is doing a physical action, that is running. See the next example. He is thinking. Here, the subject he is doing a mental action, that is thinking. See some more examples. He plays football every day. Ritika has sung well. The sun rises in the east. The action verbs are further subdivided into more kinds, which are transitive verbs, intransitive verbs, ditransitive verbs. Have a look on each of them. Starting with the transitive verbs, the verb that needs an object with it to receive the action is called a transitive verb. See the example. He is watching television. Here, the verb watching is passing its action on the object television. So, it is a transitive verb. See some more examples. He is writing a letter. You read newspaper every day. Here, the action verbs writing and read are passing their action on the objects letter and newspaper. Let's know about object. The person or thing that receives the action of the verb is called the object. It is the who or what that the subject does something too. There are two kinds of objects. These are direct objects and indirect objects. The direct object receives the action directly. It answers the question of what. The indirect object receives the action indirectly. It answers the question of to who or for whom. Let's see the given example to understand it. I told a story to him. Let's check. I told what? A story. Direct object. I told to whom? Him. Indirect object. Let's know about the intransitive verbs. A verb that doesn't need to transfer the action on an object is called an intransitive verb. Such verbs can stand alone and convey a complete sense. Let's see some examples. The tree fell. He smiles. Here, the verbs do not need any object to convey a complete sense. Let's understand about the detransitive verbs. A verb that uses both direct and indirect objects to complete its action is called a detransitive verb. For example, I sent a letter to my grandfather. Here, the action verb sent is passing its action directly on the object, a letter, and indirectly on the object, grandfather. Let's see it again. I sent what? A letter, direct object. I sent to who or for whom? My grandfather, indirect object. The second main kind of verbs is auxiliary or helping verbs. Let's know about them. Helping verbs are used to help the principal verbs to form the tenses and its mood. Let's see a few examples. The auxiliary verbs are subgrouped into two kinds, which are primary or main auxiliary verbs and modals. Have a look on each of them, starting with primary or main auxiliary verbs. These verbs help the action verbs to form tenses, negatives, and questions. There are three main types of primary verbs, which are forms of be, have, do. See some examples. Let's know about the modals. The modals are the verbs which are used before the main verbs to show the mode of action. They express a range of specific mood, aspects or purpose such as ability, possibility, certainty, suggestion, permission, obligation, and so on. Some modals are can, could, may, might, shall, will, would, must, dare, need, should, ought to, etc. The third main kind of verbs is linking or state of being verbs. A verb that describes the subject by linking it to a predicate adjective or noun is called a linking verb. Unlike the action verbs, these simply show the being or condition of the subject. They include all the state of being verbs, which are is, am, are, was, were, will be, shall be, been, and being. Also, all the verbs that relate to five senses, which are feel, look, smell, sound, and taste. Besides, all the other verbs which connect the subject part with the predicate part, instead showing action. The verbs that make a complete sense on their own, or verbs which may be used as predicate without the aid of any other words, are called the verbs of complete predication. See the examples. The boy walked, the tree fell. The verbs which require some words or phrases to complete the meaning, or verbs which require the help of other words to form predicate, are called verbs of incomplete predication. The word or words which are required to make the sense are called the complements. See some examples. The boy is sick. She seems angry. The fourth main kind of verbs is the finite and non-finite verbs. Let's know about them. Starting with the finite verbs. When the verb in the sentence indicates the tense and changes according to the person and number of the subject, we call it the finite verb. A finite verb has a subject. See some examples. Let's know about the non-finite verbs. The verb in a sentence that has no subject, person, or number is called a non-finite verb. A non-finite verb does not change its form according to the tense and number or person of the subject. See some examples. There are three kinds of non-finite verbs, which are infinitives, participles, and gerunds. Let's know about them. Starting with infinitives. Infinitives are the base form of verbs. Infinitives are also called the to verb because to is usually a part of the infinitive form. See the example. We usually use to with infinitive form. However, it is not necessary. When an infinitive is used without to, it is called a bare infinitive. We use the bare infinitives after modals auxiliaries. See a few examples. There are two kinds of participles, which are present participles and past participles. Present participles are formed by adding ing to the base form of the verbs. And to form the past participle, we add d, ed, en, t, etc. to the base form of the verbs. See a few examples. When the ing form of the verb is used as a noun in a sentence, we call it the gerund. In other way, by adding ing to a verb, we can use it as a subject. See a few examples.